Hi there. It's time for me to open up a new journal. Look how cute this is. It's so cute. I'm going to share with you an exercise that I was shown pretty recently. Now, you might already know this exercise. I'm just catching up, probably. But I think that it's helpful for being able to goal set and journal. I think this exercise is good when you're wanting to discover more about yourself and what you value and goal set from there. So let's open this thing up and see what we have. This is super cute. So I don't think that this will last very long. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to write 3 or 4 pages a night, but it's just something that I will enjoy putting my thoughts down on. I find journaling very helpful. So this exercise uses the idea that a wheel represents a person, and the spokes on the wheel represents a part of that person. So we start by drawing just a circle. And yes, my circle is not very circular, but it's not an art project. It's a figuring out who you are project. And from there, you're going to divide it in half, and you're going to divide it in half again. And then you're going to make a spoke go diagonal and another spoke go the other diagonal. So the idea here is that each of these spokes represents a different thing about your personality, about your personhood and your reality that you think is important. So, for example, what I've used before for my wheel is financials, career. The next spoke was community, then self-care. This is physical health. I have one that's creativity, continuous learning, and giving back. And your spokes could be similar or very different than this one. I'm sure that parts of my wheel are definitely going to change over time. I know that certain things are going to be of high priority at one point in my life and might not be such a big priority in another part of my life, or they might be things that I feel that I have a lot of or kind of built into my life, and I don't really have to put more focus on them. I want to focus on other things. So that's kind of what the thought is there. And what you're going to do with all these spokes is ask yourself the question, where am I when it comes to financials, when it comes to career, when it comes to community or self-care or physical health? Like, really take stock and be honest with yourself about what these things are. And then when you figure that out, you can kind of say, okay, well, this is where I am. You can ask yourself, where would I like to be? How will I know I get to where I want to be? So you can kind of go through that exercise, and it's neat because it shows you, okay, well, this is baseline. This is where I'm starting. and this is where I want to go. And please don't be harsh on yourself about these things, especially when it comes to physical health. There are things to do with my physical health that I have very little control over. They just are. And so there are things that I can do to choose my heart, choose my experience a little bit for my health. But there's other things where a good portion you might not be able to choose. So this is just to figure out if you can decide on what you can choose, what you can't choose. What is your state right now? What are you able to do versus not do? And then at the very end, you can kind of describe what are your spokes, not necessarily all of them, that you want to focus on. And a lot of the spokes could have components of other spokes in them. So you can determine what you want to focus on and what are easy goals, maybe not so much easy, but what are goals that you can achieve for self-care, for instance, for community, for instance. For my community spoke, I could say, hey, I haven't reached out to this friend in some time. So my goal is that this week I am going to text my friend and see if they're available to meet up for coffee this week or next week. And maybe that's my goal. It has nothing to do with whether they're too busy. If I've texted them and asked that question, I have satisfied that goal. I give myself a gold star. It's all good. I tend to do this exercise every month in my journal. I don't have to. That's not a hard rule by any means. It just gives me an idea of the things that I want to work on right now. What did I do last month really well, and where am I wanting to go from here? So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, is I wanted to share with you this exercise. In the meantime, I hope you're having the best day in the situation that you're finding yourself in today, and I'll talk to you later.